Born in the year 1390, Simeon Stylites was a Syrian Christian ascetic. He achieved nobility by living on top of a pillar for 36 years. This is his remarkable story. Simeon was born in Sis, now the Turkish town of Kozan. Simeon developed a zeal for Christianity at the age of 13. He entered a monastery before the age of 16. From the first day, he gave himself up to the practice of an austerity so extreme that his brethren judged him to be unsuited to any form of community life. They asked Simeon to leave the monastery. He shut himself up in a hut for a year and a half, where he passed the whole of Lent without eating or drinking. When he emerged from the hut, his achievement was hailed as a miracle. He later took to standing continually upright so long as his limbs could sustain him. Theodoret of Cyrus, a bishop and contemporary of Simeon, writes, "From the first day that he entered upon the ascetic life, he imposed on himself so many austerities that it seemed impossible for human nature to support them. After a year and a half in his hut, Simeon sought a rocky eminence on the slopes of what is now the Sheikh Barak mountain. He chose to live within a narrow space, less than 20 meters in diameter. Soon flocks of pilgrims invaded the area to seek him out, asking his counsel and for prayers, leaving him with insufficient time for his own devotions. This eventually led him to adopt a new way of life. Simeon discovered a pillar which had survived among ruins in nearby Tel Anissa, modern-day Tel Abba in Syria. He determined to live out his life on this platform. For sustenance, small boys from the nearby village would climb up the pillar and pass him parcels of flat bread and goat's milk. An anonymous Syriac biographer, composed shortly after Simeon's death, states, "A great multitude gathered around him, coming from different countries, Assyrians, Armenian, Persians, and people from the regions beyond the Black Sea. Even on the highest of his column, Simeon was not withdrawn from the world. If anything, the new pillar attracted even more people, both pilgrims who had visited earlier and sightseers as well. Simeon was available each afternoon to talk with visitors. By means of a ladder, visitors were to ascend within speaking distance. It is known that he wrote letters, the text of some of which have survived to this day, that he instructed disciples, and that he lectured to those assembled beneath. He especially preached against profanity and usury. In contrast to the extreme austerity that he practiced, his preaching conveyed temperance and compassion and was marked with common sense and freedom from fanaticism. Simeon Stylites feels like he transcended normal human limits, living on top of a pillar for 37 years. Through brutal summers and freezing winters, exposed to the elements, barely eating, and constantly praying. It's almost incomprehensible. He pushed asceticism to an extreme that feels almost mythological, like he was trying to escape the body entirely. It's this paradox where extreme self-denial somehow grants immense influence. He didn't seek power, he sought solitude, and yet emperors wrote to him asking for advice, and thousands flocked to him to hear what he had to say. A very interesting story about a very interesting man. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you maybe gained some motivation to dedicate yourself to something in your life. Maybe you don't have to live on top of a pillar for 37 years, but maybe you can dedicate yourself to starting that YouTube channel, staying with that exercise program, or staying faithful to your wife. Something along those lines might be helpful to someone. Not sure. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, that's all I got for now. See you next time.